Of course I'm scared. Of course it's fucking easier to make carousels with like clever little sayings on them that you're like, wow, that's so profound. Or photos of me looking fabulous with like captions over them. All of that stuff is so much fucking easier than just showing up and speaking what's on my heart. Because the thing is, what I have been asked to do is to create a ministry for the millions of people. I mean, look, I don't know if millions are going to come, but for the hundreds, thousands, tens, whatever, 5 people who are awakening to their own divinity, who's seeing through this whole fucking weird false matrix system and are feeling this call to come home to God so strongly. And there are a lot of people right now who are feeling this call from Yeshua. Like, there's so much stuff about his name, and I don't even want to try right now to like decode all of that shit. But there are so many people who are feeling this, but the church is not their home. Okay, so the stuff that I am here to talk about is terrifying. And I'll get to some of the stuff that I'm here to talk about. But first I'm going to talk about why it's terrifying. And I'm not even going to try and order my thoughts, because when I do that, then I get stuck in my head and I end up thinking about things and not just showing up and saying what I am thinking. So this is just going to be a rant, like an unfiltered rant. And that's what tonight is about. Focus. This ADHD brain. I don't believe in ADHD, but like, you know what I mean. Okay, so it's terrifying because when I did realize that I'm here to create this ministry, I had this beautiful friend who is very religious, and I lost that friendship because she has no idea who I am and what I've experienced, and the love that I have for the God, Mother, Father God of all creation. And the irony is that the closer I got to actually experiencing God inside me and realized who Christ was and experienced Christ consciousness itself, like just looking at other people and weeping because all I could see is love, that's the experience that I was gifted. Okay, extraordinary and amazing, and fuck, it's been hard. So that was January 2023. And although I'd already been drifting from this friend for a while because she's very religious and was saying things like, you are wrong. And I'd explain, because she's Dutch, that in English we don't say you are wrong. Like we say, I see that differently, because Dutch people can also be very, very blunt. Love the Dutch. But there is a lack of the need to sometimes filter what you say. So I had this like completely life-changing, heart-opening, miraculous gift of an experience. And I lost my friend. And I still miss her at times. I know we couldn't have walked the next part of the journey together, and that's okay. But she just said, you've got to read the Bible. And I don't know why you went to Bali. How do you even start to make sense when someone's in a different reality to you, that Bali is your spiritual home place and you were called there by your spiritual team? And that it's the most beautiful and miraculous place, and my life has changed in the 2 trips that I've made there, both times radically, completely, irrevocably changed for the better. So I got told, you just need to read the Bible. And I don't know why you went to Bali or why you're on retreat. I wasn't on retreat at the time. I was actually having a fucking nervous breakdown because the amount of light that I experienced in that 3-week period knocked me off my feet. And what it meant is that every limiting program, every shadow, every part of myself that I don't love, like all of it surfaced. The more light comes in, it happens to, I think, everybody who has a quite massive and pronounced spiritual awakening. The more light that comes in, the more the it illuminates the shadow, which is the parts of us that we don't love, because everything is love. So I lost my friend. And now I'm being called more and more to talk about Christ and Christing and the Christ itself and what that means, and Christ consciousness. But it is not through the lens of Christianity. And that gets people very upset. And I believe the whole Charlie Kirk saga is part of what is awakening now. And I don't even have the words yet to express it. But there is this massive exposure of institutionalized Christianity versus an acceptance of Christ inside your own heart. So the institutionalized version is the shame and the fear and the guilt and the sacrifice. And then there's this rebel Jesus who is a very different character, and who was pure love and embodied God consciousness while here, and came here to show us the way, the truth, and the light. And that's very different to institutionalized Christianity. But talking about this stuff, it's hard. But there are millions of us who are feeling this. And then the other thing is that through this awakening process, this journey that I've been on, I had my own sister. So that was a sister in the terms of sisterhood. But I had my own sister saying that she thought that I was in psychosis because my business wasn't making any money. That was one thing. And that I'm channeling and I'm so ungrounded. And all of those things, taken separately, are true. But her assumption is that I'm then off my head, which is not true. And how do you explain, again, to someone who's got all the books about channeling on the bookshelf, but they're not channeling? I've had to walk this path, and it's been lonely as fuck. And so I don't just read the books about things. I've been blessed with getting to go through them, to be in my light body, to experience Christ consciousness, to channel multiple extraordinary beings. No, not weird demons, but beautiful beings who've told me about their lifetimes on earth and why they want to work with me. And oh my God, the messages, some of them are so beautiful that I just weep. So no, I'm not channeling any old weird shit. The latest message that I still haven't put out there is, you are surrounded by love. And that's what I got to experience during that 3-week period, is that the love is everywhere. We're just running at a frequency that means we can't dial into it. That's it. That's what's been done to humans. So yes, it's frightening, because I lost my friend. I nearly lost my sister. Family drama of note. We managed to get through that-ish, kind of. And if those are the people closest to me, and that's what's happening, God, imagine when I start putting this stuff out on the internet. Then anybody can tell me she's running a cult. All the things, all the hate. And despite all of this fear, I also know that there is no other way except to walk through this. There just isn't. Because it's what I came here to do. And it's like the song inside me that has to be sung. And so I'm going to man up. Is that even the right expression in this patriarchal culture? I'm going to find the way to keep pushing through all the things that keep me sharing this watered down version of myself. Because, I keep knocking the microphone, but otherwise you can't hear shit. Because you need me to do that. Because if I don't share truthfully what's on my heart and who I am and the struggles that I've been through, how can I give you the courage to do the same? I've got to go first. I've got to lead, no matter how terrified I am, no matter what story I have going on in my head. And today's one is, how can I build community when you need like a whole lot of people for the community. But you only need one person. And then another one will come. And then another one. And I've been in my head for way too long trying to figure this all out. Like maybe it should look this way or this way, and I'll share this and I won't share that, and I'll share on this day and on that day, and I'll have lives, no lives. We'll have coaching sessions. No, we'll have journeys into the higher dimensions. No, I'm going to share. Like, oh my God, this beautiful, beautiful mind, which is so very full and thinks so very much. I want to stop overthinking it all. And truly, I just want to talk about this journey that I'm on and invite others who are feeling this call to come home to God. And who know, you know that it's all here, it's all now, it's all God, but it's so hard to access it because of what's been done to us. And that's why there are all these steps that we're being asked to kind of, steps, it sounds crap, but there are things that we have to do to raise our frequency so that we can feel the love of God. Because otherwise we're vibrating like we're listening to a different radio station. And this includes quietening our minds. There has to be space. That's why I'm so happy the house is quiet now. The builders have gone. It's dark. I love evenings because I feel very much the like everybody's thoughts, this whole empath thing. Like I can feel when the world is busy and stressed and thinking about stuff and working. And then evening comes and it's like the energy all just drops. And it's like my brain goes, now I can think. I've always preferred to channel at night. Like now everyone's like, I don't know, watching TV, chilling. And I can finally think. So I don't know. If I didn't have a family, I would, and kept my own weird hours. I would definitely work all night and sleep until lunchtime, but that is not the case. There is so much beauty and wonder in the world, and it is such a perplexing time to be alive, to be awake, because, and I don't want to divert into a whole big lesson now, but because of what's happening on the planet, we are existing in multiple different realities at the same time. And I realize everything I've done has been preparing me in so many ways, like studying spiral dynamics, different world views. And it's divided into colors to make it easy to remember. So you've got like blue, you've got red, and then you've got like second tier, which goes into yellow and then turquoise. And basically, to try and make it as simple as possible, when you start understanding the world view of different people, you realize they're seeing a completely different world. So you can be using the same language, but like they're not hearing what you're saying because of the lens they take. And so spiral dynamics is just a tool that can help you, as a facilitator, world peace bringer, whatever it is like you're doing. If you work with different groups of parents, for example, it can help you go, okay, I was wondering why this wasn't landing, and then you get insight into different people's worldviews. And so all of that work I see now was preparation for truly understanding that we're in different realities, because we're not perceiving anything as it is. We're perceiving it as we are. Right now, there's this like splitting of timelines. And so we've got people in really, really different realities. Like it's pulling. And yet we're in the same physical space on the planet. And it makes it really, really challenging. And I'm sure that if you're still watching this and it's making any sense at all, you know that you can say things to people right now and they're just going to think that you're off your head. I had a conversation with someone earlier who had this profound Arcturian experience, and then she started talking about it, and she was like, no, you just need to, ask the Arcturians to help you, these alien beings. You just need to ask the Arcturians, and then like all these things happen. And people looked at her like she was completely mad, because this was her experience. Valid, yes, but not everybody's having that experience. By the way, she has been listening to the Devotion Practice 1 audio, which I've made free for everybody. Just ask me for the link, comment something, I'll send you the link. You don't have to put your email address or sign up for millions of emails from me forevermore. You can just listen to it and decide if you want more. She said it's the best meditation she's ever heard in her life. And she said it's the first time she was ever able to witness herself and realize that she's a character that she made up. And I was like, wow, I had no idea that this, audio was able to do that. It's a channeled message from the Council of Light. They speak and I speak it. So this experience of being able to witness yourself. Oh, okay. Wait, I lost the train of thought and I'm back. So she said, I just want to send this to everybody I know, this audio, because, it's like the most profound meditation that I've ever had. And I'm now listening to it daily, she said. Sometimes she drops into a deeper state and sometimes like the mind's too busy and she doesn't. And I said, but hold on, you can send this to everybody you know, but they're not going to have the same effect. It's not going to have the same effect on them. Like they might go, yeah, that was kind of relaxing. We are all so different. We are all existing in these different realities, and one person's truth is not going to resonate with you. And so much of it, I'm realizing, like the same people are teaching the same thing, like really ascension and coming home to God and remembering we're divine and what this false matrix system is, and healing ourselves and not getting caught in the healing trap because you're worthy and whole and perfect as you are without having to heal everything. That's ChatGPT speak. You are not broken. Oh my God, if I see that one more time. And I think it's even on my website and I have to go edit it. Like, you're not broken. I just can't. That line. But you're not broken. Okay. So here we all are in this different, like in these different realities. It's getting more and more marked. A lot of people I know are just saying like, I can't people anymore. I barely go out. Like I watch TV, people are saying like I consume spiritual content. People are scrolling, like there's a lot of that. Me too. But I'm looking at how detrimental that is. Just this like deluge of how can I find my own thoughts and my own voice. It's like trying to write a book. You can't like read other people's books all day long. There has to come a detox time. So I'm seeing that coming. Like stop listening to other people and just start sharing what's on your heart, which is what I'm doing now. There's so many things that I want to speak about, and then I turn the camera on and I'm like, I've got to share something from the Council of Light that sounds profound, or I don't know, or go back to the beginning and explain who I am again. Like I've done that. You can watch those videos, YouTube. I just want to talk about the daily experience of waking up, the challenges that we're facing, the joy, the beauty, like all of it as it's happening. And I think that means I'm going to have to just start. I don't have one of those handy phone holder things, which sounds bizarre, okay, in my car. But so often the thoughts occur like in the moment. And if I wait till I get a quiet moment as a mom, wife, business owner, there isn't a quiet moment apart from the 5 minutes I'm grabbing now. So I'm going to have to just get one of those holder things in my car and record when I'm driving, or when I go for a walk. And I'm realizing that when I move, I often listen to podcasts, and I just had to run now. And when I do that, like a million thoughts come in. But if I wait 20 minutes, have something to eat, wait for the quiet, whatever, it's all gone. Poof. So things are alive. I'm looking at these thoughts and these like downloads, they come through. Like it's an energy that moves through, and I'm going to have to grab the moment and speak it as it moves through me. And so right now, what's moving through me is just keep showing up. No script. Share the Council of Light messages. Yes, I've got millions of those. But share also your own experience of awakening. Share why it's so scary when you're asked to start a ministry which doesn't align with traditional Christian views, yet you're talking about Christ. People who want to sing, who want to sing and worship and do it with other people, because we were always meant to worship together. Yes, there's solitary practice, and that's beautiful, but there's also a deep yearning to do this in community, because because then our fields raise each other up. Like we have, we're all part of the one, and so when one person is lifted, it lifts all of us. We're meant to do this together. And some of us don't want to be in shamanic drumming circles. Like, that's not our vibe, and church isn't our place. And so where do you go when you want to sing songs of devotion? And you want to pray together with other people, and you want to hear other people's stories about finding God and going within and opening their own hearts, and this extraordinary portal, the Hridayam, the moving into your own heart, and how the only way to actually experience God's love is to start loving yourself, and what that means. What does it really mean? And I've been on this massive journey from addiction and alcoholism and eating disorders and fucking craziness that should have left me dead when I look at what I was doing. And then cleaning up at age 24, and then this journey of becoming and becoming and becoming, not like Michelle Obama's becoming. And eventually realizing, then starting to channel, and then being asked to start this ministry, and then having this extraordinary, blissful, complete shattering of the illusion, and just knowing that I'm part of God. Not because I read it in a book, but because I got to feel it. I got to feel what it's like to be part of God. And the message that came through, there were so many during that time. But it was like, you've chosen to project one part of your one part of your consciousness here on earth, but you never left. You are still home. And I could feel it. I was like, yeah, I am still home. It was so beautiful. And sometimes the light just turned golden during those 3 weeks. Everything went golden, and I knew that I was in 2 dimensions at once. I was here in the third. The one night I was in my kitchen, and it's like, I've got this image that I created using AI to try capture it, but it shows water. So if you can imagine that, like, if you're standing in the sea, so your body here is in one reality, and then above you're in a different reality, because like below the water is completely different to being on land, whatever, breathing air. And it was like that. It was like I was divided in two. Like, the physical Amanda was standing in the kitchen, but I also at the same time was just in this like extraordinary golden vista of light with this deep sense of peace and love. So I had these extraordinary experiences of such love. And then I was told to read the Bible. So it's been wild. Processing all of this, and then the psychic attacks that followed, the family shit, the everything. And I just know that there are so many people who are battling this stuff alone, and that they don't need to. And the voices that tell me, but there's so many other people teaching this shit and teaching this and that and all the things, but there's no me. There is an Amanda-shaped place in the world that only I can fill. And so, as hard as it may feel on some days to get it all together and to figure it out, maybe if I stop trying to figure it out and just show up and talk about it all without a script, even though it's going to be a little ranty and a little rambly, I can maybe jot down like 5 bullet points so that I kind of stay on track. But really, I'm here to help people who are coming home to God, who yearn to be part of spiritual community that's not light and love bullshit, and it's not conspiracy theorist central, but it's somewhere in the middle where you know what's happened on this planet. You're learning about the darkness. It's a lot to hold. You can only hold it when you're holding enough light, which means you're seeing through the illusion. You're connecting to your own divinity. That enables you to hold that darkness. Otherwise, like, what's the point? Okay? You're only learning about what happened on this planet so that you understand the enslavement and how to deprogram yourself and come home to God. That's the only reason. Not because it's entertaining or interesting, although some of it certainly is. So my people are out there. These people who are walking this integrative journey of awakening. Going, oh my God, is this what's been happening on the planet and is still happening? And oh my God, I'm part of God. These are my people. And who are looking around going, I think I'm in a different reality to everybody else. And you can't have conversations with other people around you, like in the school pickup line around, like, how is remembering your divinity going? And do you know that the XYZ ceremony last week was like a loosh harvesting festival? You can't talk about these things. Except sometimes you find 1 or 2 moms that you can, and then it's really, really fun. But otherwise, it can be a very alienating journey. You can't share the highs and you can't share the lows. But there are millions of us, and so we shouldn't have to feel alone. So it's time I get off my ass. It's not about getting off my ass. That's the wrong thing to say. It's time to stop overthinking how to do all this and say, just come. Just come and join me in the eternal light community. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out the details. But come. Come so that I can share all of these beautiful messages of the council as a fellow student of the divine. That's been the kind of one of the stopping points for me. It's like, I don't want to be this teacher who goes, I have it all figured out. And then I look at my life and go, oh my God, you're not doing this, like that endless self-judgment. I'm a fellow student of the divine. And so maybe I don't even use the word clients. Maybe we just talk about students. We're studying together. And the best kind of fit that I found was when I realized, okay, I'm a tutor. In other words, I've taken some of these classes already, so then I can share the classes that I've been through. I'm not the professor who's like, I have all the wisdom. No, I'm a tutor. So I'm in, like, I did this class last year or the year before, and now I can tell you how I did in those classes, and those classes are taught to me by the Council of Light. That just felt like a whole lot better. Because the guru speak doesn't work for me, and there's a lot of bullshit out there. And it's not all just about manifesting your dream life. Like, yeah, okay, heaven is here, but we're not living it because we're not able to tap into it. So we're not manifesting shit because we want new handbags. And I'm not making light of anyone's financial situation. Oh my God, that's another story. But like, I'm not on the, we're trying to manifest more handbags. So, if any of this rant lands, if you are also feeling called to God, if you're remembering that you're divine, if you are feeling called by Yeshua, and yet you're going, but the church is not my place, like that's not landing for me. There's indoctrination, shame, and fear, and a whole lot of weirdness there that isn't for me. I often envy Christians, the way they have community and a clarity, but that's not my path, because I'm not seeking a God outside of myself. I'm seeking God within, because we are all fractals of God consciousness. Thank you for listening to my rant.